author thinks John Skipper was fired. Former ESPN president John Skipper's December resignation from the company brought a shocking end to a tough year for ESPN. In his announcement, Skipper said that his resignation was mutual as he looked to get help for a substance abuse addiction. On January 2, ESPN book author James Andrew Miller wrote in a column with The Hollywood Reporter that he didn't believe Skipper's departure was a mutually agreed-upon decision but rather a sudden firing brought on by Disney CEO Bob Iger. A week later, that opinion had not changed. Miller joined the Off the Board podcast with Jimmy Traina on Thursday and explained that he viewed Skipper's departure as a firing more than a resignation. "I think that's a fair characterization," Miller said of Skipper being forced out. When asked if there was actually an addiction, Miller responded, "Unfortunately there is an addiction issue." John Skipper was very honest about that. That's not something that he would ever make up. It's way too serious. He was very honest in his note to employees that it's something that he has been struggling with, and he wants to get a handle on that. That's absolutely the case. At no point am I trying to discount that or discount the importance of that in John's life. I think that the idea that he left his job because of that, it just doesn't pass the smell test. In his Hollywood Reporter piece, Miller pointed at other examples within the Disney company of employees being allowed to return after taking a sabbatical to get help. He also believed that Skipper would not have been able to act as ESPN's leader in a company-wide meeting had he known he'd be leaving 5 days later. Miller wrote, "First, I simply don't believe Skipper is a good enough actor to stand in front of hundreds of ESPN employees December 13 and lay out an infectious and enthusiastic blueprint for the future of the company, and tell them, according to sources who were there, we're all in this together, if he knew he'd be leaving in a mere 5 days. No freaking way. Skipper can be as crafty and cunning as the best of them, but lying like that has an amoral dimension to it that is certainly not Skipper-esque. If anything, he's gotten himself into trouble by being too transparent." Miller's book, Those Guys Have All the Fun, Inside the World of ESPN, was published in 2011. He's maintained a personal relationship with Skipper since the book's publishing. You can listen to the full podcast here. More. Stephen A. Smith on ESPN reporters attacking Donald Trump. "We are stepping out of our lane." Vote for the FIFA 18 Ultimate Team of the Year. LeBron James reveals what could draw him to an early retirement. Steph Curry hilariously reacted to Kevin Durant scoring 20,000 career points. 10-year-old Alabama fan had incredible expert breakdown of national championship game.